Good afternoon or good morning or good night. Al suggested that I put together a quick summary of the webinar I attended regarding artificial intelligence, or augmented intelligence, and the synergy that it can create with contact centers in the 21st century. And it was a webinar presented by the CEO of Bluewolf, which is a baby blue or an IBM company, which developed chatbots, which uses some level of artificial intelligence and machine learning in order to answer rather quickly in a customized or localized way according to each client's needs. He believes that it is the new era of a new era for BPOs and contact centers. And he asks, so what's the plan? And kind of lays out the situation. Hollywood has painted bots as either evil, very intelligent, or extremely productive. And his point is that the reality is that they are sources of, sort of as purchase points or points of purchase of data. As data will become the new currency, or is the new currency, it is a source for data input. And for a good company or a great company to listen to the voice of the customer in order to respond to that voice and therefore drive performance and reach the company's mission. He also mentioned several times that it is all about issue resolution. The number one objective of customer service is issue resolution. It is to hear the voice of the customer and as quickly as possible be able to attend to that voice. He suggests in this slide that 1990 was kind of the era of IVR and the oohs and ahs about that. Then 1995 internet. Then you were in touch with a customer service representative through email. And then it was social media, and that was wow. But now it's just become another thing. We've reached a point where it's omnichannel, whether it's phone, it's email, it's social media, and really a great company offers every single opportunity. And now with augmented intelligence, we're able to bring that omnichannel together, and it is an interwoven, continuous customer experience. And he suggests in the next slide that AI in contact centers offers really three things. And honestly, let's face it, Bluewolf builds chatbots, so it was very much so a sales pitch for chatbots. But further beyond than chatbots, it did offer, and it is definitely going to be the first tier of artificial intelligence, as voice is much more difficult to manipulate and apply machine learning to, etc. So the first level is going to be written word. Second level is going to be spoken. And then third is definitely visual and audio. And I imagine there's always going to be a historical element to that. So first of all, chatbots. 2, manage knowledge. Third, to route that knowledge intelligently. Does this customer need me to route this chat or call to the next person, meaning an actual human person, agent, to handle the situation, yes or no? And there are different gauges for that. He actually challenged us, what kind of knowledge management do you have? And your typical customer service representative sits in front of some kind of wiki or a knowledge base, and he says that can be really impractical and it would be, in terms of muda waste, it would be kind of emotion where an agent would have to sift through a lot of paperwork or comb through it, search, use a search engine, Google, to figure out an answer to a question that perhaps a bot could answer in a split second. And he calls that deflection. Deflection as, and he said he didn't like the term, but we're using it just because it works. But the point is, almost as a poka-yoke, or almost as an error-proofing system, or a short improvement, or short Kaizen, or Kaizen blitz, we're able to attend to the need of a customer right then and there. So instead of, today, we are escalating every single need to a tier 1 agent. So before we do that, let's send it to a bot. And if that bot can actualize or to respond immediately, why not have that bot take care of that issue right away? That's called deflection. And he suggests that the number one desire, or the number one, or the top in terms of the pyramid of the voice of the customer, number one is going to be issue resolution. He said, what happens when bots are going to begin to use voice? And the fact is, with Alexa, Siri, and Google, OK Google, or the personal assistant, they're all already talking. And his point was, since the number one driver for quality is issue resolution, people are going to get used to the fact that they're talking with a robot, and it's going to become normal for them. They're not going to feel weirded out. I imagine it's going to have its own kind of learning curve, but I think it is true, and he does have some applications towards it. Again, this webinar was focused mainly on bots. And he suggested already bots are starting to kind of take over in terms of the community portals. I haven't really seen too much of that myself, but the fact that is that in a community portal, let's say in a community portal like Meetup, or a community portal like Facebook, Facebook knows you through your history, through the photos you've uploaded, through your experiences that you've shared, the political views you've voiced, etc., 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 and therefore knows you as you, supposedly. He also suggests that it's taking over the SMS line, and also places like Facebook Messenger, I imagine WhatsApp, Skype, all of those areas are beginning to be dominated by bot, and we're seeing that. You can get a bot on your Skype, and you can put in, set an appointment on my calendar for tomorrow, 4 o'clock. My only problem with doing that through chat is, if I have to write that out, I might as well just write it out into my Outlook invite. Anyway, I'm sure that'll get faster, and it is getting faster as we associate voice. And he suggested there are 7 major drivers that make for a great chat. So number 1, it's conversational. It's sort of personal. It's not mechanical. It's much more human. Number 2, omni-channel capability. As I said, it's in every channel, whether it's Facebook, whether it's SMS, whether it's community or portal, or if you were to look at the other way around, it connects. So that chatbot is connected, be it IBM Watson or another platform. It's connected to, if a customer called in, there's a record of that, and there's a continuity of that. So the next time that person chats in, that chatbot knows that history and is able to continue that conversation. Number 3, CRM and workflow capability. So today the big thing is Salesforce, typically for sales, and I'm sure there are a myriad of other platforms out there for other items, but that it's integrated. The point is that it's integrated. It's able to show historically that customers' interactions, purchases, and Amazon does that. Every time we look up anything, it offers us options to begin, right? Number 4, emotional intelligence. And this is where the oohs and ahs come through, and this is where we're starting to bridge into voice, and also just in text word. Chat or AI is able to begin detecting your feeling by the choice of words that you use. Through many, many billions of lines of machine learning, through hundreds and hundreds of megabytes and gigabytes and petabytes of data, it is able to understand perhaps where you are, where you're from, your educational background, how you're feeling about the call, and I'll mention later, as a customer service agent is taking a call, it's able to monitor the tone of voice, the words used, the words of gratitude, appreciation, or depreciation. Hey, your service is not that great, etc. And is able to answer to that. Number 5, there is an ability to explore, and he suggested in that it's integrated, the chat itself knows, or that AI platform knows where it is in the sales cycle. 6, autonomous reasoning, which is the item that everyone's afraid of. So if an AI platform decides to run your credit card through the roof, it's been given the ability to make that decision for you. Let's put it that way. Number 7, and the point is that AI has been given the ability to make decision. Should I escalate this call to a tier 2 agent? Should I escalate this call to a tier 3 agent? Or this customer is not satisfied. What can we do to make him happy, etc.? Number 7, maintenance. Keeping a bot always updated. Those are the 7 major ways that a bot is good or great. Now, the second speaker, his name is John Pass, and he spoke of the use cases of Watson in a fictitious case of an insurance company by the name of Anthema. And he suggested, well, let's say there was a customer that logged in to Anthema's portal. There's a chatbot there. How can I help you? He types in dentist in my zip code 30034. Chatbot, or the AI platform, locates 3 dentists in the 5-mile radius of 30034, rates them or finds their ratings on different platforms, and is able to see which one's best. Shall I book an appointment for you? Yes. Can you book an appointment? Customer asks, yes, can you book an appointment at 3 p.m. On Thursday? And AI platform turns around and says, booked. So that's at the speed of deflection, just being able to, hey, what are you asking for? And I'm going to answer that. Next, let's say through, actually, it's interesting to see the integration. So the appointment's been booked, and then he shows on Salesforce when and where it's been booked. Actually shows another situation where Watson saw that a customer wasn't happy, that emotional intelligence kicking in and saying, okay, we need a live agent to take this call right away. Why? Because the customer's not happy. Live agents on the call. AI hasn't stopped working. what it's doing is monitoring the call, listening. And as the customer is asking for or making a demand, rather than the agent fishing for the knowledge base, it's already popping up on the screen. And this is all done in a chat format. So, I mean, we're not at voice yet, which is kind of our realm, but impressive to see that the AI is pulling up the records. Here are the here's a historical, here's a description, here's a summary of our interaction with this customer. Here are some leading causes, here are some lagging causes, some solutions. And basically you see the symbiosis or the synergy between Watson, agent, caller, and back again. It's kind of like the conversation's been filtered through, double jacked, Y-jacked through IBM Watson. And all along, it's able to monitor the emotional tone of the customer and see how the call is going. And then there was another speaker that spoke regarding the several use cases. And I think the pitch is this. The main pitch, the main idea is this, or the main assumptions are these. Number one, Tier 1 agents receive many useless calls. I'm not saying useless, completely useless, but typically a simple point that needs to be corrected can take up the time of many customer service agents. And that's what they're talking about. Many Tier 1 agents are receiving calls that just kind of a waste of their time. They need to really focus on the bigger questions that are happening. I think the main idea is get rid of Tier 1 at your customer service centers altogether and let AI do it for you. I think that's the direction they're trying to take, maybe even further. Number two, let AI connect you to the right channel. If it is going to be that Tier 2 agent, we'll connect them to that Tier 2 agent. Or if AI can deflect and right away answer that call or answer that chat and resolve the issue, let it do it right away. Number three, let AI assist the agent to make those perfect calls or make those perfect chats. Gave 3 case studies. One company by the name of Autodesk. Autodesk builds software for manufacturing companies. And they have about 300 customer care professionals. And they were answering about 1 million questions per year. And what they noticed was that much of those questions were kind of Tier 1 questions that took time away from maybe the Tier 2, Tier 3 important questions. So they asked IBM Watson, hey, how can we build a bot that can take most of those questions? And they developed Ava, which is Autodesk Virtual Agent. And it read in about 14 million lines into its natural language processing and machine learning. And it's able to generate or to take care of 30,000 conversations per month. And what used to take a day and a half for an agent is now taking about 5.5 minutes. So they are claiming that it's dropped average handle time 90+%. Now, I asked 2 questions to that. Number one, how many jobs have been lost because of that? And if that's the road we have to take, we're probably going to have to take it in a different way due to our mission. And then number two, I can't imagine if they're simple calls that the average handle time were that long. So they have yet to explain further. Another case study was Royal Bank of Scotland, RBS. So RBS wanted to go more into the realm of digital. They're a traditional bank, but they want to step into the digital framework. So they created a bot, and that bot has been able to take on about 200 user intents. So in other words, it has 200 functionalities that used to be a teller or a customer care professional would do. So third was Ubank. Same idea, an online bank based out of Australia. They built a robo-chat to help users to process loans especially and kind of get that sped up. Questions to that were, for all three cases, were service level. What happened to the service level? So were you able to improve upon your service level? And if so, what happened to your service level contract? So if an account like Farmers, right now we're at somewhere in the realm of sometimes 30% service level, can we be up to 80 through deflection, through AI? But then what happens in the further negotiation with our vendor manager? Anyway, those are problems probably that I shouldn't be asking just yet. I hope that I've done a half decent explanation of the webinar, and I hope I haven't taken too long. Thank you.